Cool, okay. Come out, puff, fucking hell. Okay, guys, hello. I'm Ashley Bryant of Elite Health and Performance, and this is my very good friend, Rachel Andrews.
Hello, everyone.
We're going to be starting some YouTube videos surrounding fitness and health topics. And our first topic of today is what to look for in a good personal trainer. Is that right?
It is, yeah.
Good, okay.
I'm glad you remembered.
So I think clarification first and foremost is this isn't a sales pitch. We're both very successful PTs. We're maxing out on clients. We can't take any more on. So this is just an opportunity to share our knowledge and our opinion on what to look for in a good PT. So we haven't even planned this really, but it's just gonna be a bit of a off the cuff sort of thing. I think first and foremost, I think you need to find somebody who is qualified first and foremost, because there's a lot of cowboys out there. Yeah, your views on that?
Yeah, I mean, qualifications, but on the other hand, you can become qualified in, I think it's like 6 weeks now.
I think three
really?
or 4.
Okay,
yeah.
less now. So again, experience counts for a hell of a lot as well.
And just going on that, I mean, we spent 2 years at college before we even entered the gym together.
Yeah.
All those years ago.
It was a long time ago.
Long time ago. Yeah.
So the best PTs that I know aren't the ones that have just literally qualified and straight in the gym and they're writing out programs. They're the ones that have done extra research on their own. They've tried and tested all the programs, all the diets, everything.
Yeah, you've got to live it.
Yeah, and their fitness is their life too, which leads me on to the point as well of looking the part. I know looks aren't everything.
They're not, but they're a reflection on...
You have to practice what you preach.
Yeah, they're a reflection on your study and your capability to be able to apply that science. So for example, I know some very semi-qualified personal trainers, but they look like shit. And you know, people might laugh and be like, well, you know, I can run a marathon, da 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 da. But ultimately, that's like trying to gain a driving license through a driving instructor just having a car. Like, I'm sure he can be able to take you through the theory and certain aspects of training.
Yeah.
But well, you know, when you give a client of yours a real aggressive cut or something, you want to know how they're feeling. So when they come to you crying their eyes out because they're fucking starving, you want to be like, don't worry,
I've been there.
Eat some nuts.
Do this because
man up.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's what some people can't offer.
You know, you wouldn't go to a hairdresser with horrific looking hair, would you?
No, wear a cap.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think you have to kind of, as I say, practice what you preach. Don't get me wrong, you can still be overweight and fit, and it is better to be overweight and fit than skinny and sedentary.
Yeah.
But as I say, as a personal trainer, fitness is my life, it's your life, it's everything we do.
Yeah.
And I think for a good PT that obviously shows in how you look.
I think the other thing is, which is something that's probably not really spoken about, is I think you need a relationship with your clients, because you know, I could be, or you could be the best personal trainers on the planet, but if your coaching style doesn't fit or isn't compatible with the client's requirements, then it's a no-go, right? I mean, I've had some tricky clients in the past, and I've been more than happy to refer them on, because ultimately I don't want to train them and they probably don't want to train with me, that's fine. So, you know, Rach is probably one of the very few people in general that I'd associate myself with, because I know she's good. And we've trained together. She trains like a beast. She can lift, she can run, she can jump, she can squat. Semi-okay. Somersault. The things I've seen this girl do on a pole, like crazy stuff. But you know, so she's got the theory, she's got the science, she's got the passion, she's got the knowledge, and she's able to apply that within her own training. And I like to think I'm kind of the same.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad, but I do think there are unfortunately more bad trainers.
Yeah, but I think you're right, and this is a criticism, but it's not a direct criticism at personal trainers. The criticism from me is actually towards the governing bodies, because who are these fucking idiots who are creating these certificates that you can get in 3 or 4 weeks? That's not the PT's fault.
No,
They're made to believe the dream that you can be qualified and become not only qualified but a good PT in 3 weeks. Well, I wasn't good until probably 2 years after I started being a gym instructor, and that's 3 years after qualifying.
And I think as well, I mean, see, I did a slightly different route. I did an apprenticeship, so I learned whilst on the job. Yeah, I learned whilst on the job.
Well, that's even better.
So working with other personal trainers, good and bad, was brilliant because you learn from the bad ones' mistakes.
Yeah.
And you take everything you can from the good ones.
Yeah.
And then you slowly kind of start to build up your own style as well. What works
That's important, having your own style.
Yeah, and
agreed.
You find like a niche. So when you're looking for a trainer, depending on what your goals are, will depend on who you find. So I guess if a guy came to me and was like, I want to be a bodybuilder, not really my area, probably more Ash's area, because he's been there, you've done that kind of.
Well, I think for the average Joe, you could make people into a bodybuilder, but at a competitive level, probably not. But equally, no woman's going to come to me and ask them to be a pole dancer or gymnast, right?
You never know.
Well, you never know.
Yeah.
I'll give it a whirl.
Probably not.
I can stick a £20 notes in there because that's about it.
Yeah. So I think you kind of need to build a rapport with them.
Agreed.
You can kind of suss it out within the first consultation.
Yeah, meet up with them. That's a very good point, Rach. If a PT isn't willing to give a complimentary consultation, or even a paid consultation, then my advice is don't see them, because you need to be able to see if you click, and it gives them a chance to well, that sounds a bit bad, but almost sell you their products that they're trying to sell you. Okay, and if you don't agree with their kind of ethos or their philosophy, then find somebody else. And I think credibility is a big thing as well. It's things like, does your PT have a website? Does your PT have not credentials, not referrals? What's the other one? Testimonials. If they've got a client base of 50 like I do, and they're all progressing, and they can be like, yeah, Ash is a cool guy, go with him. Then that's going to be far better than a snotty little 18-year-old or 35-year-old just coming out of IT because he's bored, who's got 2 clients and they both hate him. Fair?
Yes, fair enough. So for me, I don't advertise as such because
you don't need to.
I was going to say it's word of mouth. So
it is though. It is. I've spent a lot of money on marketing, and I've come off all social networking, and I've got a website, and that's that. I'm maxed, and we're both maxed out. We're successful for a reason. I think it's maybe luck, maybe a bit of luck anyway, but it's a lot of it's fucking hard work.
You never stop learning.
You don't.
And if you do come across a trainer that says they know everything,
then they're lying.
They're lying. They don't, because we're still learning, and they change things all the time. It's like first aid courses, they're always changing, new techniques, everything. So we're constantly learning new courses. You learn a lot from your clients as well.
You do. One way of squatting won't necessarily mean that is the bioprint for everybody else. Everyone's got a different requirement, whether it's mechanically or if they've got a bodged hip or whatever, then they're going to require something a bit different. And what's the point of having a mind when you can't change it? So from a personal trainer's perspective, if they do suddenly change something up and it's completely different, there's probably a reason for it, which really leads me to the next thing is, don't feel scared to ask your PT why. If they can't answer you, then they know they're giving you a load of BS. If they can give you an answer, then there's structure and reason and method behind the reason, which is key, I think.
Yeah.
Cool.
So to summarise, when looking for a personal trainer, first and foremost, qualifications.
Yeah.
Experience.
Very.
How long they've got in the field.
Yes.
And even if they are new, that doesn't necessarily mean then they're going to be bad.
No, agreed, 100%.
Because again, it depends what background they've come from.
Yeah.
I came from a gymnastics background, so don't get me wrong, I'm not going to get my clients to be doing backflips, but you're still in that health and fitness kind of field. So yes, experience.
They've got to care. I think that's the biggest one.
Yeah.
Rachel and I won't care too much, our partners might, if we get a text at 10:30 PM from a client. You know, I know a lot of I know a lot of PTs who would care and they'd probably switch the phone off. So, you know, the thing about personal training is that it's got to be personal. And you've got to be able to share things sometimes that you might not want to talk about, because ultimately it's going to help you achieve.
Yeah, so I think with exercise or achieving your perfect body image, a lot of it is up here.
Agreed.
And if you can't overcome your mental issues as to why you're eating Galaxy at 10 p.m. at night,
because you've had a stressful day and I don't have time to eat right. Yeah.
Then, you know, it's healthy body, healthy mind. So I don't know about you, but I do feel like a bit of a counsellor sometimes.
Yeah, agreed. Even to the point where I'm actually considering going on a counselling course. Genuinely.
Because people, you know, you need to kind of offload and
For sure.
And talk about things, and you know, it does affect your body.
Yeah.
Stress is a massive
Yeah.
you know, influence in that.
However,
so.
you know, if these guys aren't looking for a personal trainer like that, then join a freaking boot camp for a £5 and hurt your back. Then see us for therapy.
Yeah. And the last point I was going to say about, again, just coming back to it, was appearance. You know, I know we shouldn't judge people on appearances.
We all do.
But again, you'll sense it. You know, if they turn up and they're eating a burger and they've got a can of Coke.
The biggest one's a Red Bull. The amount of PTs I've seen with a Red Bull.
Relentless.
Yeah. Getting their client to, you know, not even run, walk on a treadmill with their phone out.
Yeah.
I've seen that more than once.
Yeah. So.
And they're paying what, 40 what's the going rate? £40-45 an hour for that.
About that. So it's not just, again, how the personal trainer looks. It's what they're doing with
it's the persona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So qualifications, experience,
Image.
and image.
And care.
And care. Yeah, duty of care.
That's it for us.
So that pretty much wraps everything up. We will be back soon.
We will be back.
On another on another topic. We welcome all your comments.
Yeah.
You know, we'll be happy to answer the will we be happy to answer the negative ones, or no?
No, I'm just going to leave them. They won't achieve anything if they're hating on us. Alright, arrivederci guys.
Over and out.